boys do cry.
Yeah.
Emphasis on boys, right?
Yeah.
So I think this really...
And that correlates to men, of course, in general.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a, I guess there's a stigma in some way of what a man should be, how a man should act, or how a man should deal with emotion.
Absolutely.
And I feel like something along my journey and just along like my platform and my brand in general, I don't ever want to promote toxic masculinity in some way.
Yeah.
I want, and when I raise my son and raise my children, I don't want them to feel like it's bad to show your emotions, because as a man, I feel like that's almost like a powerful thing to have.
Absolutely.
Like to be able and to be comfortable enough in yourself to show emotion.
Mhm.
I feel like that speaks volumes opposed to you pushing through and just, you know, taking life as it comes to you or whatever all the sayings are. I feel like you showing emotion to your partner or showing emotion to your kids just shows you as a human being, and that it takes you afar and a long way. And I just really think that that's something that should be touched on more.
It should be. It should be. And it should be touched on not only as when you're an adult, but
Yeah.
it should be touched on as you're growing up through your childhood, through your adolescence. Emphasis on boys, right? So this isn't just when you're a man. This stems from your upbringing, right? So boys do cry. You know, growing up as a boy, it was, unless you had that in your household of showing emotions, whether it's to your parents or to your friends, or you were introduced to that emotional vulnerability, that emotional awareness, that emotional intelligence, you really didn't show that.
Yeah, if you were given that space in some way.
Yeah.
A lot of times guys are told, boys don't do that, or boys don't cry, or
boys don't wear pink. There's a lot of things that boys aren't supposed to do. Boys aren't supposed to cry. You know, it's all I guess society rules and things of that nature. But not going too far into that, I do want to ask you a question, Jamison. So when is the last time you cried? And for what reason? Don't think too deep. Answer honestly and just, you know, keep it 1,000.
Oddly enough, I cry for the good times and the bad times.
Okay.
I don't know if I can remember the exact last time that I cried, but if I cried, I really think that it probably was because of like something good. I really can't give you like...
What was a good reason why you cried? If you want,
I could cry for anything. That. I could cry in a movie. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I cry for the good things because that's my way of showing gratitude for the good things. I cry when I pray sometimes. I cry when I praise. I cry when I'm hurt. I feel like crying is just a release of emotion, and that emotion doesn't always have to be bad or negative or sad or whatever. Sometimes crying is just like thankfulness and just showing like your gratitude for the position that you're in.
Absolutely.
I'm grateful. I'm very free when it comes to crying. I don't care.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that is a testament to the kind of person you are in your upbringing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's beautiful. Shout out to you and of course God and the people who poured into you to be the person you are today and the person you continue to be and elevate to. So happy for you there.
Thank you. When's the last time you cried though?
Man, I'm crying right now with this contact. I know everybody see me wiping my tears. Just bear with me. Like, I'm giving y'all the authentic me, crying with my contacts, no haircut. Jamison got me like glistening with all this moisturizer.
Oh my God. We're getting him right for the camera, okay?
But if I'm being completely honest, the last time I cried has to be last week. I was at a wedding. I was the best man at my best friend's wedding, Dr. Ian Shaw. And I was giving a speech on my relationship with him and what kind of person he is to me and what kind of person he is to the people who were there to witness his love and his ceremony with his wife, Katie. And I didn't have anything prepared for that speech, and I really just spoke from the heart, and I allowed myself to be vulnerable. And there was nothing sad about the moment. Like you said, there was nothing sad about the moment. I was extremely happy what we were celebrating, why we were there. But I just did have a rush of emotions because everything that he's done for me and the way he's shown up for me and the way I've shown up for him is very deep, and it's a testament to our friendship and our bond. And that sense of, I don't know, that feeling of when you cry, you outpour like that, the sense of just breathing, vulnerability, and you just let it flow is unlike no other. You know, you have your different feelings, right? Your different emotions, what you express, but there's something very unique about crying, whether it's for sadness, whether it's for happiness. And yeah, I think it's super important to embrace that and not steer away from it. Yeah.
Do you feel like you pick and choose like who you cry in front of?
That's a good question. That's not even on the card.
I know. It's just something that came in my head.
I love that. I used to pick and choose who I cry in front of because I used to try and be, I can't cry. I can't cry. This isn't the time or place to cry. But that slowly started to dissolve as I was, as late as grad school. Not even in college. I didn't have that emotional awareness, emotional intelligence in college, but in grad school it started to develop where I was more comfortable crying in front of close friends and in front of people. And that slowly started to develop even more. So like back in grad school, I wasn't going to cry in front of no crowd. It wasn't happening. It wasn't happening just because that's the way I grew up. I didn't see other people cry. I wasn't crying. That was the mentality. So I had to backtrack and really grow. I think it takes a sense of
growth for sure.
Growth to do that.
I think for me, I'll cry in front of almost anyone that's close to me, like my inner circle of friends or like my family or, people that are close to me, people that know me. I don't have a problem with that. It's like, why are you here if you can't console me while I'm crying? But like, I do try my best not to crash out in front of the public. Because listen, some stuff can make you crash out in life. Even on social media sometimes, like I have to reel it back sometimes.
Yeah. You're just on the train, the New York subway, crying, bawling.
Sometimes I just got to reel it back. And that's because, and one thing that I do struggle with is along the journey of just life in general, I always said that I wanted to be someone that portrayed all of the different facets of that journey, even the ups and the downs. But I don't want to be that crash out king.
This man always crying. Man,
when I say crash out, I'm not even talking about just crying. I'm just talking about like being that overly emotional person that is angry or like sad or like anxious. Like I don't want to be that person that portrays that all the time, even to my close friends and family. But I do believe that there's a healthy amount of it.